play a game.
Starting soon, my ass. Oh, look at that. Can't see the game. And I've got the wrong t-shirt on. Whatever. So, doing well this morning. How is everybody? Let me sort this out while I find the right setup, because it's all got presets, and it's trying to find Train Sim World 5, which of course it can't because we're playing this one. Right. Okay, there we go. At least it's working. It's good. Where are we? East Whittier. There's a surprise. Welcome to day 10 of the very small beginning railroad, which sooner or later I'm just going to have to call the VSB, aren't I? Or the VSR, the very small railroad, because we're almost finished building this thing. We appear to be on foot. How weird's that? We've got 2 locos down there. We've got some stuff over there. It's a lovely dawn. We've got some stuff over there. They look like they're ready to go. And all of our logs are unloaded. There are spare logs waiting down at the siding. So let's get on with it, shall we? Oh, hang on. Let's not leave myself standing right in the middle of the track, because, you know, you get run over. Probably doesn't matter, but you do. We still only have 2 locomotives. So I think we've got VSBR number 1 and we've got VSBR number 2. I don't know why one of them's called PAX 1. It must have been a leftover from an old save, I think. This game does remember stuff sometimes. All right, let's open up our little loco window. And yeah, we'll send number 2 out to do the logs. We'll get that done, so that'll be fine. So we'll just send over number 2 over here. Today is the day we get to Bryson. The bridge is done. Did we get to Bryson yesterday? Yeah, I think we did. So we should have some stuff for Bryson in the staging yard. Let's go look. We've got stuff. Wow, so there's actually quite a bit of stuff, because we've set up some contracts all over the place, so we've got stuff to deliver. That's nice. Appalachian hardwoods, good. They're the ones out past Bryson, out to where the bridge site to Alarka is. And Bryson lumber and coal, East Whittier repair, Whittier house. Yeah, we're starting to get to the busy little railway. Soon we're going to need another locomotive, but have we got enough money for another locomotive? No. But that's okay, as they say. We should have a look at, while things are happening, look at our milestones, because Bryson Bridge, line to Fontana. Cars ordered, waiting for delivery. Okay, so these will turn up at the next interchange, which means I need to tell this interchange to get some stuff in. Now, I don't care about diesel fueling stands. We're not going to buy any of those, because we're going to be a steam railway on what will be the VSR. Purchase the track to Silver. No. Whittier to Bryson signals. Can we have those now? We can. Can't afford them, but we can have them. Whittier sawmill connection. Well, I've actually got something better than the Whittier sawmill connection. It's there. It's a mod. Whittier yard. That actually is, in fact, this yard. I've already got it, but it's confused because it carried over from an old save. We can't yet have the Alarka Junction Y or any of those things because we're not there yet. So we're going to need to tell the East Whittier interchange, which is where we are. Oh, I've already done it. Look at that. I've outsmarted myself. I must have done it at the end of day 9. But I've scheduled another interchange, and that's for the bridge stuff. So we'll deliver everything else, and we'll get our passengers happening, and all those sorts of fun things. So first up, I have a faint suspicion we probably want to get some stuff out of here. Yes, all of these things want to go to the interchange, so we'll sort those out. That one's not quite full yet. It's close, though. But that's fine. Let's send number 1 over here to just start dealing with stuff. Number 1's got a handbrake on. How interesting. I must have driven that one by hand. Okay. A waypoint. We'll put it over here. It won't move because it's got a handbrake on. We'll have to go over there and take the handbrake off. And I assume it's a handbrake on the tender. Looks like it. You going to go now? You are. Very nice. All right. That'll start happening. Let's get this guy sorted. Everything's going to happen from this end of this railway in this one, because even though I've got a mod that gives me an interchange yard in silver, not silver, sorry, in Alarka, I'm not going to tell it to be an interchange yard. I'm actually going to turn that off when we get up there. So we're going to come down here with the log trains. We want to swap to VSBR 2 before I forget to do it. And we're going to bring the log train down to here somewhere. Probably about there. So we should teleport there, shouldn't we? Now, don't you wish that you could just tell the train to go somewhere on the map? Wouldn't that be good? Yes, it would. All right, now we've got 2 locos doing stuff up here. Running through the chat, Syke says hello. Michael says hello. Hope you guys are well. Michael says gourd. Well, I hope not. Hope you haven't had a misadventure with a bull there, Michael. And you've worked on the weekend? I worked on the weekend too, but mine was a train. And you're having laundry and brunch with your father. Fair enough. Then trains. Good. So, lovely sunrise, says Syke. It is. In fact, it was a lovely sunrise here this morning. I was awake to see it. Uh-oh. What have I done here? Uh-oh. I think I fucked up. Okay. Yes, that switch can't change because there's a locomotive sitting on top of it. Hey, look, the AI's trying to sort it out. Okay. It got itself in the mess. It's getting it now. I thought it was getting itself out, but no, it's not. It's going to couple up again. How about VSBR 1? How about VSBR 1, you just go over here? That'd be a good idea. Is that a good thing for you to do? Has the other one got enough room to go the other way now? No, it's going back into the siding. This is the AI trying to resolve conflict. Syke says Fontana, who is the character on Murphy Brown. Alright. Have you sorted each other out now? Are you quite happy? Are you out of the way? I think you're out of the way. Now, the irony is, that's going where that one wanted to go. I'm not quite sure where the, what kind of path the log train's actually taking, you know? I'm kind of confused, to be honest. Because I'm pretty sure I told it to go the other way. I guess it's going the long way round. Or did I tell that one something stupid, like go and couple up to those carriages? Did I tell them the wrong way round, maybe? So where is it going? If it goes into that siding... At the moment, it looks like it's just going to go that way. It's just gone down there for no readily apparent reason, and it's going to go the other way now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see how this makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what, since you're in the way, we'll just do this the other way around. You keep mucking about with your thing, and we'll come down here and sort this stuff out. So, VSBR number 1, come down here. Your friend's in the way, so we'll sort this end out first. And that's fine, because we've got to split these Whittier cars out and get them into their own train. They can stay on the train, they're fine. Bryson Coaling Tower, East Whittier repair track needs to go here. And the others are all pretty much just on the way. So that's Bryson, that's Bryson, that's Bryson, that's Bryson, that's Bryson, and that one's Bryson. I remember amusing myself at the end of day 9, hello, Rouse of Illinois, that I did actually remember to order coal for Bryson, because I was going, hey, I need to order coal for Bryson. And I go, oh, I did. Hopefully everybody is well today and ready for a nice relaxed day of Railroader with its crazy AI. And the aim is to build up enough cash to finish the bridge to Bryson. And we need to start thinking about a locomotive. So, because we're going to need 3 very soon. And I think, what's that one? Forgotten what that one is. That's the 10-wheeler, so that's that one. I'm not sure if we'll get another one of those, or if we'll get another one of those, which is what the other one is. Or we just go the whole hog and save up to get something big. But anyway, we'll work all those things out. So we want to pull this whole train out because we want that car. That one right there. That's got to come out. So we'll yank that whole train out and we'll put just that car, and I hope it goes the right way round there. Now we need to put some air through and deal with some handbrakes and some things like that. Not that you take handbrakes off before you put the air through or anything. No, you wouldn't do that. Right, you should be able to do that now. And the reason I want that car by itself is because I need to push it into the right place. Because it needs to go right in the back of the siding up there. In fact, why don't we just put it straight there? Why am I messing around? We'll just push the whole train into the loco shed. Why not? Just put it right there. That'll be fine. That'll work. No, don't go the other way. No, no. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't muck it up. There you go. One of the downsides of running VSBR is we don't end up with a terribly heavy chat going on, because most of its views actually come later. There's not that many views live on the VSBR, which will soon be the VSR, the Very Small Railway, or Very Small Railroad. I suppose it is in America. I'll call it the Very Small Railroad. Why not? Don't know if people saw my video or not, or even the post on LinkedIn, but I did in fact pass my fireman's reassessment on Friday evening. And as I said on my LinkedIn post, I don't know how many actually follow LinkedIn, but on my LinkedIn post, as I said, most firemen, technically you can't choose what run you do your assessment on, but the reality is, if you look through the rosters, you have to go out with particular drivers to do your assessment. You have to do one of the assessing drivers. Because you are a qualified person, as long as you're in date when you do your assessment, it's just a normal run. If you're not in date when you do your assessment, then there has to be a third person in the cab to assess you, because you're not qualified. But I was in date, very much in date, and went out with one of the drivers that I get along very well with. And most people will look for a single trip to Lakeside to do their assessment, which it's still not easy. It's still a hard day's work, but it's easier than what I did. We're running a thing called Train of Lights at the moment, which is a maximum tonnage load for the NGG, the South African Garretts that we have. And it's at night. So it's a particularly awesome train. I did pop up a video of it. I think that's the car we're leaving here, isn't it? Handbrake. I popped up a highlights reel. I'll put up the full reels of the run. The run to Lakeside will go up as is. The run to Gembrook will go up with music on it. Just because it has to. All right. Now I think the next car in that train is a Bryson train. Bryson car. So we're probably going to put all that back. Yeah, we do. We can take it all back down there. Very good. No problemo, as they say. So back here. Boom. Put those back together. and then we will split the other carriages out. Yeah, the train of lights is awesome, and yeah, it's just me being me. If there's a hard way to do something, I'll do it, and I particularly like the challenge of that train. It is actually quite hard to do, and it makes me, and I don't want to seem like I've got a really big head, but it makes me a little bit proud of my achievement with Train of Lights, because I've run that thing 3 times now, and all 3 times I've had the thing blowing off going up the hill. So, perfect heat. And you know it's perfect heat because you just crack the door open a little bit and it stops blowing off, and you're just right on the edge of it's just right. And yeah, I was quite happy. I was very happy with the run. And the other thing that, again, trying not to sound like I've got a big head, but I guess I do, is a lot of the firemen actually don't do so well on that trip, because it is difficult, and you've really got to be on your game for that train because it's so heavy and it's such a steep hill. It's 1 in 30 for 6 miles, so that's about, what, 10 kilometres. And you go on to that 1 in 30 for 6 miles after coming down a 1 in 30 for 4 miles. So during that 4 miles, you're building a fire and getting it ready to go, and hopefully not blowing off down the hill, because that pisses your driver off. And it's got to be ready at that moment that you cross the bridge at the bottom and start going up the hill. And you get a first heavy go to get your fire going, and then you've got, and this is what kills a lot of people, is you've got this respite as you roll through Cockatoo Station, because they're not using any steam. And that can really kill your fire if you're not on it. All right. Now, the one going to Bryson Coaling car is actually, it's our car. Since you guys part of this community, we all own the VSR. Now, I'll just cut this one's air off before I put those ones' air on. And we've got to put a handbrake on this one. We'll be back for the Bryson stuff later. In the meantime, let's get... So that's another one for Whittier Sawmill. So we've got 2 for C2s. We should pay attention to this now. And we've got all the others are going into these ones on the sides, except Stenzel. So let's break the train at Stenzel. To get it a bit closer, that key won't work. Right. And that one's going to the sidings as well. So let's put them together. This is all about shunting puzzles, this game. And I like shunting puzzles. I like them in real life. Is there anything after Stenzel? No, it doesn't look like it. So they haven't mixed it up that much. How's our little log train going? Is he there? He's there, look. All right. So what we need to do with you is dump you off. Let me out of the tree. This isn't Tree Sim World. Let me out. Right. When did trees get collision in Railroader? Interesting. My camera was actually stuck in the tree. Now we've got to get these. This is number 2. Let's tick the box because we're smarter than that. I am quite proud of the achievement, Psych. It is actually a big deal. Because I do take a bit of pride in doing it right. And this particular examining driver is known for being a touch picky. So getting it right and passing with him is good. Come on, Loco. I imagine you guys have got some stuff that you're probably proud of as well. The list of people is growing that I'm planning on meeting up with in the UK. I was chatting with Daisy last night, who's a guard in real life. Operates out of Birmingham. So we'll be meeting up with, well, trying to anyway, but looks like it's positive. Why is that jump to waypoint? I want the settings window because I don't know why this one's called PAX 1. Oh, it's got a train crew of PAX 1. Okay. Crew none. We don't do crews on the VSR. You don't need no stinking crew. How's our mate at the other end going? He's going okay. So let's get you sorted then. Okay, you've gotten onto that one. Let's hook you up and just push those back down the line because we've got to run around them. And you got a handbrake on? No, you don't. That was left there all by itself with no handbrake on. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, let's bring that lot down here. So VSBR number 1. Also, we don't have air through somewhere. And it's got a brake on. I could have sworn I put the air through here. Oh, look at that. It didn't open the cocks. That lovely bug. Oh, and you've got the end open because they didn't bottle you. I've never known the game to leave a car by itself without a handbrake on before. It's interesting. Anyway, looking to York's Andy is a possibility for York. Already meeting Dave Randall in York. And on another day in York, Casual Rail and Richie Rail. We'll be meeting them. We're going up to North Yorkshire Moors Railway. I've also got a cab ride on Flying Scotsman at Shildon, which is outside of York. All right, little VSBR. Now we're going to do something that you'd never do. All those other carriages that need to come out of there, which should have been over here, and aren't because the other one was getting in the way, are going to get shunted by this train. Because we can. Whoop. And let's go back to you because you've got your train. So we need to take that little train and shove it back in the siding for tomorrow. Actually, today. We have to do 2 log runs a day now. Do we? I'm not sure about that, actually. Let me count the cars. Oh, you know what I haven't done yet, which I've got to do? I've got to race over here before that moves because I need the number. 4012. Okay. Let's count how many cars there are as it goes past. Oh, look at that. I put them in order. 4010, 4011, 4012. I like that. That suits my OCD. Hello, bad guy. How are you? I'm well, thank you. So that's 1, 2. They're in order. What was I doing one night? 3, 4, 5. Oh, messed that one up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No. And 12. Okay. My contract is for 11 cars a day, so I'll be delivering 12 cars a day. That's fine. That's enough. So we only have to do 1 log run. Rails says, if you apply to work on any railroad, not necessarily any specific railroad, then why do they make you become a temporary conductor? Well, I suppose it depends on the local rules, Rails, and what they do. Rails says, does railroad allow you to move when locomotive or cars are still coupled together, and will you see the air hoses snap in the game? Yes, you will. I can show you that. Bad guy says, I've had kind of a rough, if I'm honest. Well, that sounds shit, mate. What's up? You don't have to say if it's private. Hopefully it's nothing too awful. you have our thoughts, of course. What are you doing? We're waiting for you. Not you, bad guy. Ooh, you're struggling with that load a little bit, aren't you? This is the kind of thing that means you need maintenance. She's trying hard. One of the things that they get our drivers to do during their training and on exam day, and periodically they'll make you do it at random, is they stop you on the hill with a full load and go, get it moving. Bad guy says, the other day my grandmother fell and broke her hip, so she's been in the hospital for 2 days yesterday. She had surgery. It's been kind of rough couple of days because I've had to keep everything together. Yeah, that can be very difficult. And it is something that happens to older people, unfortunately. We have a design life, if you think in engineering terms, of 35 years. And the fact that we tend to live to 3 times that for most people is quite amazing. It's achievements of modern society, the fact that we support our elderly and that we have good medicine. So I hope she comes through it okay, mate. And being in the wonderful US of A, I hope she's got good insurance, because that can get a little tricky over there if you don't. I am very pleased to live in a country, and I think, Michael, you do too, in a country with what is basically universal medical. If you need something for life preservation, you get it. It doesn't matter how much money you don't have. Do you know, one of these days, I'm actually going to have to finish. Obviously, I've started doing it. So, Rails, I'm going to show you what happens here. I'll do it deliberately, even though it'll stop the train. So I'm going to break the coupler, and we will go into manual mode. And train brake off, go into forwards. Actually, is it forwards? Which way round's this locomotive facing? Backwards. Okay, so we've got to go backwards. All right, let's go back here, because Rails wants to see this. So backwards, we'll give it some stick. And snap. And then the train will stop, because we've got no pressure anymore. And you can hear the pump trying to pressure it back up. And we'll leave that one the way it is. And now we should be able to move again. Oops, backwards. Give it some stick. There we go. See, how good's that, Rouse? Don't you wish Train Sim World did that? Yes, I do. It's one of those things, I suppose. I know I am an ambassador for the game, but there are things that I would love it to do that it does not. And while that is okay that it doesn't, because it's a different game, I'd like it to. Are we on the other end yet? Yes, we are. Okay, so we've got 2 for the gravel, or not gravel siding, the sawdust siding. And we've got one over there that's partially full. So, did that actually go through properly? I think so. Yep. Yeah, I can hear the pump bumping the train back up again. That's good. Game's very quiet, isn't it? Let me just get my... It is very quiet. I thought it was very quiet. And master output's at 100%. System's very low. That would be why. Okay, good. That'll be better then. So let's pull these out first. And we're going to have to put this one back in again, which is a shame, but that's okay. Not VSBR 2, VSBR 1. VSBR 2 is on its way back here. And hopefully they don't get in each other's way this time, because that'd be boring. So we'll yank these two out. And we'll stick them on the end of that one, because they'll fit. Then we will push all the carriages we've got back in, and then we'll put that one back on top of them, because that one's almost ready to go. It'll be ready to go probably in the next hour. So I could just leave it there, but no. We're here to do shunting, goddammit. Bad guy says she got through the surgery really well and everything went well with the surgery. Now it's just a matter of her recovering and kind of getting her thoughts back because she's been a little confused. I'm not surprised. It's a bit of a surprise to a person. Oh no, you're going that way. Why didn't you go the other way? Now it's all going to come down to timing because that one's going to appear around the corner any second. Let me just make sure nothing bad happens. We don't need another cornfield while the AI is sorting itself out back here. So we'll pop down a flare so it can't. Because I can hear it coming. It's coming from... Oh, now it is going the other way. Well, fine then. We'll take the flare out. I don't know what that train's doing down there because it went backwards and now it's going forwards and... Oh, I don't know what it's... Oh, hang on. It's going this way again. No, it is going the other way. Oh, I see what it did. But why didn't it just go the other way? Fine. Whatever. Anyway, it's all good. Bad guy says from the anesthetic, when she pulls through, I think it'll be a little bit easier and it's hard seeing her that way. Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely, of course it is. Rails said normally you don't see trains stop after disconnecting air pipes in yards as they tend to prove pretty slow. Well, they would stop, but what you're probably not seeing, Rails, is that they would have closed the cocks. So I'll do that when we're shunting here. I'll show you what they're actually doing. And more often than not, when they're shunting in a yard, they actually don't have the brake pipe charged up anyway. And Rails says, where's my three-step in red zone? This, my friend, is the 1950s. There is no three-step and red zone. Nothing of the kind. In the 1950s, the only reason people who worked on railways weren't killed is because they used the thing in here that's between their ears. Because if they didn't, they just got killed. There's actually a really good, let me see if I can find it. There's a really good Santa Fe video. I think it's Santa Fe. Really good, maybe it's not Santa Fe. Railroad safety. Ah, there it is. That's the one. Share that. Copy. This gives you an idea of the safety from that era. Syke says, bring her something tasty to bad guy. Oh, absolutely. Hospital food's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Ah, there's the log train. Right on time. We'll send that one out with half the goods trade shortly. Send it off to Bryson and we'll pick up the passenger coaches on the way. While this one's doing some work locally. So I'll show you. So we'll just put the glad hands together. And we will release the handbrake on this and I'll bleed it in case it's got anything in it, which it did. And I'll put the glad... Oops, I don't want to put the air through on that one. I'll put the glad hands together but leave the cocks closed. I don't think that handbrake's on, is it? No. All right. So we're going to pull those out and we're going to put them both on the end of this consist. And I haven't bled that one. I need to bleed it. Bleed. There we go. So you'll see that pull apart, and this time the train won't stop when we do this. Sykes says, I imagine the 1950s had a piece of pie with every lunch. Rail says, yes, there was. No, there wasn't. 3 Step's a very recent thing. It came in the 1980s. It's also bullshit. You really don't need to do anything that's in 3 Step. All you need is to have a driver, or engineer as you call them in America, be mindful that they have people working on their train and that they should not move their locomotive. 3 Step is a situation trying to counter drivers not being mindful about the people around them and not taking responsibility. All right, there's our first contract delivered of the morning. Let's pop down here because this is going to finish before the other one does. Woo, 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 it says. Now, our passenger carriages, if I remember correctly, are at Whittier. So actually, I can show you here too. If I close the cocks, so I'll just close the cock on the locomotive because you would actually leave that one open because you want the brakes to come on. So this is VSBR number 2. Let's just grab that. Let's just grab you on manual and let's go into reverse, give you some stick and release the independent brake. And she will eventually. Or maybe she won't because they're coupled. There you go. Now this time it won't stop. Now you can hear all the air coming out of the train pipe, and we'll stay here until that stops because it will. There you go. Pressure's gone now. And in reality, you do normally leave the cocks open on the last car of a consist because otherwise the brakes could come off by themselves later. Because this way they really can't, in theory. But anyway, let's go back into AE mode because we want the train on here. So AE waypoint mode, bonk. Because we're going to take that up the track. That one's been delivered, lovely. Now you'll see something similar here because we're going to pull off at this carriage. So our cocks are closed. So if I uncouple that, and then I'm going to tell this thing, so I want VSBR number 1. I should actually change the reporting marks now, shouldn't I? Because we're not really the beginning anymore, are we? Maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. Why not? Let's name our railway today. Equipment, customize. So we are now, we're not the VSBR anymore. We're now the VSR because we are correct. We are our railway. So let's do the same thing on there. Get rid of you. And we'll inspect that one. Equipment, customize. Except that we are now the railway. We're still expanding because we are going to go to Alarka. But we are now the VSR. Rail says before and after July 26, 1990, it doesn't matter if railroads never enforce those rules. I don't think that's true. I think the FRA would get very upset with them. The FRA is a very interesting organisation if you look into them, Rails. You should have a look at what they actually are. Because they aren't what a lot of people think they are. So we'll close that cock, uncouple that. And we want that to go back on here because we want to pick up this car and put it back on the front. So we'll do that, but let's get back over here so we can see the things pull apart again, just for Rail's amusement. Which they should. You don't want to? Why don't you want to? Have I got a handbrake in the middle somewhere? Surely not. How would that even happen? Oh, you know why? Because I'm telling the wrong engine. Idiot. Idiot. Right. So now we've got to tell it to go over here again. Because I'm an idiot. And then we've got to quickly get back over there so we see it pull apart. There you go. Fairly good. All right, now let's get back down to the other one down here, who I was telling to do things, who shouldn't really be doing anything because I just told it the wrong one, and that's fine. So let's cancel its waypoint. Let's get in here and hook it up. And we'll get it around the corner to Whittier. We've got a little bit of work to do in Whittier, so we'll go into the second road. Is another one? That one looks okay to me. That looks okay. 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 Right. And is it closed at the back? Yes, it is. So we've got a handbrake on somewhere. Oh, up near the loco. It's one of the coal cars. There it is. All right. So we will now send this one on its way up to Whittier. So let's just jump into the map. Go up around the corner. And we're going to go into the second road probably. Although we could go into the third road, I guess. But I think we'll just go into the second road because the passenger carriages are in the first road. And what's got to come out of here? That one does. But anyway, let's bring the train up to just think this through. Those are on the front. We're going to want to push them into there. Yes. Let's bring the train until it's sitting on these points. A little bit past it probably will be enough. We've got 2 to come out and 1 to stay. What about our oil over here? How are these going? They're staying there. Let's have a look at our locations and see if we can increase our contracts anywhere. So Holyfield, we can go to tier 3, so we will. Stenzel, we can go to tier 3 and will. Whittier Depot doesn't get contracts. Whittier Sawmill, tier 3. Actually, look, 15 cars a day. So we do have to do 2 log runs. It's gone up. Okay, good-o. That's fine. We can either buy some more cars, but I think these little locos can't handle anymore. Ela Farm Supply, we can go to tier 3, so we will. Ela Station. Walker Logging, we don't really use. I've never used it in the game ever. I don't know if I'll start using it now. I don't need pulpwood. So only that thing down at Silver needs pulpwood, so I don't care. Appalachian Hardwoods, we went straight to tier 3, so we can't change any of that. The bridge site's waiting for stuff. Engine service, so we're not servicing anybody down there at the moment. So we don't even have an employee down there. Bryson Freight House, Bryson Lumber and Coal is on tier 3, and Standard Oil is on tier 3. So we'll leave all those alone for now. Where's our train? Is it moving? It is moving. So it's on its way here somewhere. There it is. Oh, it's only just leaving. You slacker. Alright, well we're going to leave you anyway because we want to talk to your friend. Because we want to get this work done. Because now we have to yank this car out. And put it on top of these ones. And we want VSR number 1, please. And you may recall the reason we have to do that one is because it's not quite full, so it needs to go back. And the reason I'm putting it on the front is because it is almost full, and chances are today we'll have an opportunity to take that, put it in the interchange and make some cash, because I need to make some money because we've got to continue the bridge, so we need another bridge stage. But we also need, we have reached the point where a 3rd locomotive is necessary. And by the time we get to Alarka, we will potentially need 4. Psych just got an emergency alert with a tornado. Ooh, that's not cool. I hope that doesn't come to pass for you or anybody. Sydney had a rare event happen. It's called a bomb cyclone. Normally a cyclone forms deep out in the ocean and they spin for days and days and days. And then they come on shore and make a big mess. And a bomb cyclone is when they form just offshore and come on shore and make a big mess. So I suppose not that different, really. But Sydney had one of those happen the other day. It was lots of flooding. I did actually see, was it Texas? Let's have a look. I think it was. Just have a look. Find it on my phone. Be quicker. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? I was reading it this morning. Can't find it now. I kind of think it was somewhere in Texas where a oh yeah, Texas floods, 32 killed, and a whole bunch of kids missing from a camp. Just a bit shit. So welcome to the weather we've made for ourselves. Are they all going to fit here? Or are we going to have to move one of them again? Yes, they all fit. Fantastic. Kind of surprised they all fit, actually. There we go. We just made $280. Nice. It's actually why people don't want to run freight on this thing, is because you make a lot more money. I don't want to run passenger, rather. You make a lot more money with freight. And we're about to make a bunch more money with delivering these to the interchange, too. We have always got the money cheat, but the point of this series is to kind of show people that you can start small and build up. Using the money cheat would kind of defeat that purpose, really. I know all the big streamers use the money cheat. I think I showed you what the money cheat was on the last stream. I think I put my income up by $1. So if you're not sure and you want to know, let me know and I'll show you again. I didn't change the temper text, did I? No, that won't do much because they're not hooked up. And I think that one's got a handbrake on. Don't think there's any others, though. Nope. So let's take this back to the interchange. Just bring it down this end of it somewhere. And let's go and see what our friend's doing up the other end. He's arrived at Sten of Zell, which is good. So we've got one that wants to go in over there, and that's the Whittier House Track one. We will do that one last, though. So I'm actually a little bit far forwards because I thought there was 2 for stencil, but there's not. So let's just push this back just a touch. Just a touch, just to clear those points. All right. Let's get them out. Now you're gonna use these to actually, you know what I really should do? Yes, I have a plan. Okay. Manual. Go forward a little bit. Right. Now go backwards a little bit. Recouple that car. So just sort of a grand plan. Let's follow the grand plan. Pop that off. We could just dump these here. Just going to set them out and go gunk. Because the other fella, when he gets down there, when the other one gets done, come up here and do the sorting up here. I like that idea. That gets this guy on his way quicker. And why is nothing happening? Did I not uncouple? I did uncouple. Oh, are you sad because you've still got a thing? There you go. There you go, you little sook. Now, we better tell these guys to start loading up people. And we're probably fast approaching the point. Inspect, that's what we want. Fast approaching the point where we need to get a third passenger car as well. Because I think these fill up most days. Alright, let's oil those while we're here because they are ours. I oiled the steam engine last night, but we should check that too. I don't tend to bother oiling the carriages that aren't mine. I'm aware of that, Rails. The whole point of that video is to encourage people to think about safety. And the whole point of that video is that they're not. Right, we can dump this lot here. We'll put on a handbrake once it's clear of all the points. It'll do. Let's whack on a handy. Handy applied. And let's close our locomotive cock if we can get onto it. There we go. And couple. And we're going to want that to go onto this. 2, yes. And we can come back here and watch these pull apart again just for Rails because he loves it. And then we're going to take that whole set and put it on the front of the passenger train. Oh, he's done his thing. All right, well, we'll leave him doing his thing. And you're done. You're done for now anyway. So let's pop back to this one because I want the other one to come up here. And I'm going to want to put it on this end of this car set. Bonk. And it can't do that right now because all the tracks are full, but it'll figure it out. It'll be fine because this one will be gone soon. And let's take the handy off. And then we want to come up here and get on the front of these passenger cars, which should be loading up quite happily. How are they going? 42 of 60, 45 of 60. And what have we got left in here? Nothing? Nothing. Brilliant. He's going to have to go quite a long way, so the other loco will probably get here before he comes back with his load. And we should see the other one appear here very soon. Can't hear it yet, so it's still rummaging around in the sidings down there. Rummage, 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 rummage. Rail says it's nothing to do with 3 separate red zone. I know, but I'm pointing out to you that in that time frame they did not exist. So we don't have to do any of that shit. We also don't have to do 14L. Because that didn't exist then either. That came in after this time frame. Better start fixing these too, hadn't I? Equipment, customize. Because we are now just a very small railway. So it doesn't actually have the text. Okay. Copy that to the other one as well. Now the VSR, the very small railway. Where's it picking up its text from? And we have to do that to this one as well, because we're not beginning anymore. We're there. Custom text. No, don't need Lego's custom text. There should be a normal custom text thing on there somewhere. Operations, car, equipment. Maybe it's the name of the railway actually. In settings. Might be the name of the railway. Input features. Settings. No, it's not there. Nah, we'll find it. Must be in here then. Jump to waypoint. No. Must be in here. Surely. So I don't think it's that one. Let's just try it. We'll see what it says when it turns up. Oh. Oi. Why are you there? Why are you there? Seriously. You're enough. VSR number 1. Stop. Go over here. Did it change? No. I wonder if it's on the tender itself. Is that possible? Text. There it is. Very small railroad. Copy that to the other cars, which should put it on the engine as well. Yes, VSR. We're done. Good. Now I've got to do it to the other one as well, which is coming in up here, so we can do that. I didn't realise it put that lettering on the tender, because it sets this when you set the railway up. And I've got to figure out where that is, because there actually is somewhere where you set this stuff. Why do I keep saying railroad? Right. Good. Perfect. Get rid of that crap. Let's hook up our passenger cars, get the handbrakes off, and get this passenger train on its way. That one's not on. That one looks good. Release the handy. All right, so you're somewhere useful now. That's fine. Now, we've got nothing to drop off at Ela, so we're just going to go straight through. So we're going to go to the map, and we're going to zoom out to Bryson, zoom into Bryson, and we're going to go there. We'll be shuttling the passenger trains back and forth at least twice on this day. VSR 2, I believe, is the one I want. Need the passengers in the depot, so whoop, about there. Good. See you later, mates. Now we're going to get Mr. Number 1 here. Hello, Lord Vectron. I hate to tell you this, Rails, but the 2 longs, 1 short, and a long is a rule from the Federal Railroad Administration. The Federal Railroad Administration did not exist until 1966. So you are incorrect. Now, we're not going to bother putting the air through here. We are going to leave that car there, though, because we... Well, I put it back on this track now the other train's out of the way. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Because I really don't want it there. Yeah, I think we'll put it back on this track now the other train's out of the way. Just put it there. Boop. Do I need to bleed you? Probably. There we go. I don't think you will find any videos of that, Rails. What you may find is local railways, like the Pennsylvania, they did that. How is the Lord of Vectron today? Just to catch Lord Vectron up, we have bad guy looking after his sick grandmother. And we have Rails being Rails, as usual. That'll do the job. That'll do fine. Just cut him off there. Boom. Let him roll. We'll just leave that one rolling. How bad did it get? And we'll bring VSR number 1 over here. Book. And we'll stop that one rolling. Come on. Handbrake on. Handbrake on. There we go. Lord Vectron says, I'm finally glad the end of my TSW5 boycott is in sight. Now we have a date for the 86. Just in time for TSW6. Just for the record, I am joking. Although, as I say to people all the time with the sales, look at what they did last year, because that's probably what they'll do this year. Last few years, we've had a new version each time. They do indeed whistle before the crossings. The only country it doesn't do that are European ones. Countries, I should say. Monk. So I'll release you. You don't have handbrake on. That's weird. You want to go to the interchange. You want to go to the interchange, but you've still got stuff in you. So that must have been shipping in and that one's shipping out. How interesting, because that's got stuff in it. And that's got stuff in it. Okay. But anyway, we want to put those cars over here. Kabook. Think there's enough room. Yeah, tons. How's our friend going? It's arrived at Ela. Now, how many people are going to get in here at Ela? 56. 26 for Brighton, 30 for Whittier. Okay, so the carriages won't fill up because there's enough room for them. So that's fine. And what's going on over here? So we've got 2 that are staying. Everybody's staying. That's boring. No shunting to do at Ela. Terrible. Whatever will we do? Never mind. That's got a crew. Interesting. There we go. All good. We shall leave them as they are, because they'll be there for a little while doing their station stop, and go back to our friend here, who's almost finished his move. His move, her move, their move, whatever they are. Doesn't matter. Rails says, Lord Vectron 4, it's a rule for railroads in the United States. Not all of them, actually. We use code 14L, which means train has to blow their horn for a crossing. Do you know that's not actually true? Do you know that is not actually completely true, Rails? You should read Rule 14L. Do you know, for example, that if they are propelling a train through a crossing, they don't actually blow their whistle at all? They just go straight on through to the other side. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Because it's true. Alright, so we're going to whip them off and put those ones back. Whee! I could sort them as well, but I'm too lazy, so I won't. And then we will come back and we will grab that whole set so that we can pull that one out and put that one in. Because that's what life's about on the very small railroad. Shunting. Because we're a short line. So shunting is 99% of what we actually do. No, it's not about going through a quiet zone. If they are propelling a train, so they're pushing the train, they do not blow their whistle or horn. And that's still true in the modern day. So I do recommend, if you're going to quote rules at me, that you actually read them and understand them. Because you know I do. Why am I so bright? Look like a ghost. Let's fix that. There we go. Now I've got some body and some form. I don't look like a ghost. No, I still look like a ghost. What's going on? What's going on? Did it forget? No, it did. Apply. Go. Is that better? That's better. Good. Okay. Where'd you go, train? You done? You are done. Nice. Good work. Bonk. TC, hello. I hope you're well, TC. Looks like our other train's gotten on its way out of Ela. Rail says, I forgot technically do believe it whistles and horns going in reverse. Reverse is a different thing. I said propelling. The locomotive can be going forwards when it's going, when it's propelling. Damn, I hope I'm not getting a cold from my driver on Friday. He had a cold. Normally you don't catch anything in the loco cab. I've actually been in the loco cab with a bloke with COVID and didn't catch it because it's so hot and obnoxious in there that germs die. Rail says railroader is automatic, so the AI will blow the whistle. Yes, it will. All right. Will we put the air through? Why not? Why not? And we may as well put it on that one too. But we're not going to put it on all of them, so we're not going to bother hooking the air through to that one. And I think, is that bled? Yep. Because we want to come get this one now. Now I'll be curious what the AI does here. Be interesting. Because if it's smart, it'll go that way and come back. Because that would be much quicker than what it's going to do, which is go the other way. Oh no, it is going to do that. Wow. Okay, good. Chickens are out but not fed. The chickens that out but not fed wasn't for you guys. Welcome to the people who have just joined. I just see a few have joined in. I never really expect high views when I'm playing Railroader because I explained before most of its views come afterwards from people who watch the playlist. Because this one's aimed at new players, so there's a playlist with all of the progression that we've gone through to get up to where we are today at day 10 to make this happen. And the whole idea of this series, apart from the fact it's fun, because my other save, it's simply a bit too big, and I don't mind playing it still. I still do. I think I've progressed it a couple of days, but I haven't streamed it for a while because it takes about 18 hours to finish a day. And in any one day on that one, I'll probably run about 20 to 25 trains because it's just too bloody big. Whereas this one's going to stay small. Whittier to Alarka. Because that keeps the railway at the interesting end. And I did actually see even Railroader themselves, the people who make this game, did actually admit that there's not much reward for opening up Andrews. And in response to that, they are putting in additional stages between Bryson and Andrews. And they're going to be putting in some additional industries along the way as well. And I think there was talk of another passenger station too. This will, of course, drive the people who make mods bananas. But that's okay. All right. So we're going to have to get this one that's in here out. So we need to get its handbrake off, which is on the other end somewhere. There it is. And we will pop that one over here. You know what? Let's do this manual. Brakes off. Reverse. Am I doing the wrong one? No, it's fine. Ooh, Not 50% throttle. No, no, bad. Did it switch? It did switch. You can choose the whistles, Lord Vectron. You can have whatever you want. So if I go into inspect, which is dangerous because we're not doing a thing, and customize, one of the things you can change is the whistle. I kind of like that one. Let's leave it at that one for the moment. And in the meantime, I should give him a stop. And we'll change the switch. Go back into forwards, bit of stick, and brakes off. This is the thing I should actually do a little bit more of, is driving them manually. It's a surprisingly heavy train. You never stay in 100% cutoff because your fireman would kill you. It's actually interesting that they have 100% cutoff, because I've not actually seen a loco that goes over 75. Even in what they call full cutoff, it's still not 100%. All right, stop you there. And you'll notice I do very light brake applications when I'm driving manually, because that's how you do it in real life. Very, very light on the brakes. You don't need much. Oops, we're driving manually. No need to set a waypoint. All right, backwards. Bit of stick and brakes off. Lord Vectron says that sounds more like ye olde US steamer. Rail says American steamers allow 85 on the Johnson bar. I think you should have a look at that. Because don't forget, rails, that I actually fire Baldwins. And they certainly don't allow 100%. Sounds like my fireman's running an injector there. I wonder if Century of Steam will ever come out. Yes, Railroader allows wheel slip. Is that in? I think it's in, yep. Should put the handbrake on first, really. Rails wants to see wheel slip. Are you ready, Rails? Are you really ready? You sure you're ready? I don't know if this is heavy enough, actually. It may not slip. I think the tray's not heavy enough for it to slip. It'll just take off like a rabbit. Now, at that point, the entire fire's gone out the stack. Absolutely all of it would have gone. Something I am massively looking forward to when I get to the UK is a cab ride on Flying Scotsman. Because it is arguably the most famous locomotive in the world. What's the correct coupling speed, boys and girls? If you said 4 miles an hour, you'd be right. Okay, so everything in this train should be for the interchange, if I haven't messed it up badly. So I'll have a quick check in case I did, because, you know, I'm pretty well known for it. There we go. That's everything. So let's go whipping back down here. Whee! Because pretty soon we should have our bridge train turn up. In fact, look, there it is. Oh, no. No, I lie. It hasn't turned up. But let's come and whack these down into here. So we'll go back into AAE. Boink. And we'll come watch. I think I might have gotten that bloke's cold dinner. Lord Vectron says, I hope they still do the Scotsman cab rides whenever I get there. If I was there earlier, because it's at West Somerset now. When are you going, Lord Vectron? Quite happy to say I have paid for said cab ride, by the way. It's by way of a significant donation to Locomotion, which is part of the National Museum of Rail in the UK. Locomotion is the museum that I make fun of all the time, because they have 2 sheds, and one of them's rail connected, and they do relatively normal shunting in that shed, because all of the tracks are actually connected through a ladder out the front to the main line. And then they built a new shed, but they didn't rail connect the new shed. So whenever they want to move stuff around, they have to actually pick it up and skate it across the floor. That's why I make fun of them. Trees. Munch, munch, munch. Nom, nom, nom. I like eating leaves. Nom, 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 nom. What time is it? It's 7:26, so there's an hour until the bridge train gets here. So what we might do is after the other train gets to Bryson, we'll time slip. I won't do it before it gets there, because that could be exciting, because the passengers might run out of time and then they don't get paid. We don't want to not get paid. Ooh, that's awfully fast to take a set of points there. That's awfully fast. Look at it rock and roll. Wow. That was quite a roll. Anyway, that's okay. Lord Vectron says, haven't booked anywhere in the next 3 years as a plan. Not looking forward to 20 hours in a plane. It's more than 20, young fella. It's about 32. By the time you've done your transits. There's only one that you can fly direct, and that is Qantas. And that flies out of Perth. So you've still got a 4-hour flight to Perth, transit in Perth, and then flying directly to London Gatwick, I believe. And that one takes 21 hours. That's the sunrise flight, sorry. Right. I'm actually not going to look that up because I just don't care. Because, you know, they're not my problem anymore. So we'll just get this bloke out of the way. How's he going for water and coal? Well, because you never miss an opportunity to fill with water and coal, and this bloke's got nothing better to do, put him up here. And we can fill him with water and coal when he gets there. You'll probably do better than 11k. Lord Vectron, just keep your eye out. Blastpop says the only one possibly close is the Flying Scotsman might be a Big Boy. Yeah, look, Big Boy is relatively famous, but I would argue Flying Scotsman is more. because Flying Scotsman has travelled the world. It's one of the few locomotives to have done that outside of its service life in preservation. So it's toured the US, it's toured Australia, it's been all over the bloody place. Rails says, if I'm being completely honest, I've never ridden inside the cab of a steam loco. Well, you should. Well, assuming you have interest in steam locos, you may not. Lord Vectron says I might have a mild form of claustrophobia being in 737 and A320s domestically, and they freak me out. They only freak me out when they fall out of the sky. But to be honest, if they do that when you're on it, you're not really going to think about it very long. We should pop you into Manuel mode and give you a bit of a stop there, because I think it is going to work. Okay. Well, you just pour the water all over the deck lid. See if I care. That'll be fine. Just fill up my whole coal bunker with water. Yeah, it's just going to piss everywhere in the cab now. But that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Didn't take a lot, and won't take a lot of coal either, really. How's the other one going? So the other one's arrived. So we can time slip an hour now. We'll just have a quick check and make sure it has actually arrived and it's at Bryson. It has. Very good. Are the passengers getting off, I would hope? Yep. All right. So we can time slip an hour. So we'll go back to this guy who's stopped there. There you go. He's filled up with coal. His train will appear over there because it is 7:30 and 30. So if I go in here and go, wait, 1 hour. Whoop, look at that. Magic. There's our bridge train. Can't I get onto that? Boop. All right. Now this should be nothing but our bridge train. Oh, look at that. We've got some other stuff has sneaked in. It should have only been our bridge train. But that's okay. So we'll just repeat what we've just done. Fine. So we've got another one for the sawmill and one for Ela House. And they're all Bryson anyway, so that's fine. We'll just whip this guy out and deal with him. And then we'll take the train. Don't know why I bothered doing that. Release that handbrake. Is that one on? That one's on as well. Release that one. That one's got a handbrake on. I think what we might do is just dump Mr. Fuzzy here in the siding. Because we can. In fact, let's whip you apart. When he stops, we'll go into manual mode. So we can kick it. And 0, manual. %, throttle. Can I get on it? Yes. And stop. Kick him down there. When he's clear, which he is, whack on a handbrake. And then we can go back into non-manual mode. And put it on here. Bonk. As we get train 2 ready to roll. We'll leave him there. And let's pop back to number 2, because we'll leave the passenger coaches here. We won't set them up to go anywhere just yet, because your timer doesn't start until the passengers are on. So always a bit of a cheat. So hardwoods, they're all round the corner. Standard oils round the corner. Bryson lumber and coal, that's over there. And That's over there, and the Bryson Coaling Tower's over there. So I think let's just deal with this stuff first. Because the first thing we want to do is drop that off in there. And we want to change to the other locomotive so we don't make a mess. Too long to navigate to waypoint. Oh, it's getting smarter. Hey, have they done the turntable thing yet? No, they haven't. That's a bummer. Okay. So the train's too long, is it? Very good. Let's put it here then. What else could we do with it? Where can we run around it easily? All the way up in there. Well, that's tedious. All right, let's deal with the coaling tower first then. So we'll pull the whole lot forwards. I wonder, do we take it through the Y? Could. Why? Why not? I think we'll just bring the whole lot here. What do you reckon? Boop. And then we'll deal with it. Come on. Did I just do something evil in OBS? No, I didn't. It's all right. What's our other little fella doing? No, he's ready. Okay. He's on the trains. Let's just go through and make sure the air's through everywhere. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Mind you, there is a quicker way to look for continuity, and you would actually do this for real anyway. So if you go, so you get air, you know that you've got a continuous air brake. All right, so let's take this lot to Ela, because we've got to get rid of that Ela house one. We could run around that here because it's a bit easier and put it on the back of the train, but I could not be stuffed, so I won't. We'll just dump it at Ela. Ela. Why don't we bring it into... I think if we actually stop in the passenger station, we'll just bring it through to here. We still got a handbrake on in our train. How inconvenient. What is it, that one? Yep. That's a heavy little train. But she'll be right, mate. Blast Pop says, the game interests me. I'm concerned it might be a bit grindy, so I haven't picked it up yet. It's not really. Not like something like Transport Fever. The reason I say that is because you're in charge of what you're doing. So you can make it as big or as small as you want to, and you can operate it like a real railway, or you can operate it in any other way you might see fit. So it doesn't feel grindy to me because it's not going, hey, you have to put this over here and then put this over here and then put this over here and then put this over here. What it does is it says you've got this collection of stuff and here's where each of the things needs to go, and then there's the other things you need to pick up, but you figure it out. You figure out your order. You do whatever you want. So I think that's, for me, it's not grindy. And that's why. Oh, you went the long way. Okay. That's fine. I could appreciate you going the long way. Well, I'll tell you what, since you went the long way, and we've actually got the coaling tower to deal with, and we need to run around the coaling tower, why don't you just... Is it going to fit in that little loop there? I don't think it will it? Won't quite fit in the loop. But you know what? We can do something creative here. We can use a turntable. Why not? I wonder if that loco on one coal car will fit on the turntable. Do you know, I reckon if I actually put... Let's bring it here, actually. Let's just bring it here, because I reckon if I put the turntable bridge... And they are changing the way turntables work, but they haven't actually done it yet. Come on. No, other way. I reckon... No, I think it's this one. There we go. I reckon if we put that train on the bridge... Oh. That didn't line up. I think I actually have to be here for this. No, I don't. If I put the thing on the turntable bridge, it actually should be long enough to do what I want to do. Right. They have, yeah, I definitely reckon it's long enough. But it won't let you AE across the turntable, so I'll have to go into manual mode. Because the automatic engineer won't take a train across the turntable. Some of the sidings on our railway up at Emerald Station, the only way to actually get them to where they need to go is using the turntable. The first one's going back there. Syke says I'm back. Had to fix up my radios. They're both in need of replacement. Hopefully the tornado doesn't happen, Syke. Lord Vectron says, can any of the trains be automated? You need to micromanage them all. Oh, you just tell them where to go. There are some automated shunting solutions as mods, but for me the shunting puzzle is why the game's fun, so I don't use those mods. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. Some people would probably like that kind of thing. I'll leave it at about 40 because this is uphill. See, in the big save, this is actually why I have a locomotive at every big location. Because then I can run the trains between the points and just leave them going, and I tend to ignore them, while I take care of the shunting at all of the locations using the individual locomotives. I do like that they've introduced steam test simulation in this game. I appreciate that. And what I mean by that is when you power and then power off, you actually do hear the train keep chuffing for a little while. That'll do. I didn't hear a cha-ching though, but it says it's delivered. There we go, cha-ching. It was just being slow. And that next one goes up there on the tipple. Lord Vectron says, I like the building aspects of games like Transport Fever and Cities of Skylines, but I hate to micromanage the economy and everything else. Have a think about, if you like building stuff, have a look at Rolling Line. And I'll show you what I mean about Steam Chest, because I'm going to power off now. See how it keeps chuffing for a little while? And I actually want to slow that right down, because if I hit that turntable at more than 5 mile an hour, it's going to come unstuck. Not that I really need to hit the turntable at all, because I'm already past the points. Back we go. We'll drop that one off, and the other coal goes here. So we'll have to run around that somewhere. I gave Transport Fever a good crack, but I have to admit I do find Transport Fever grindy. Because while it's got really similar concepts to this, you have to do things the right way and the right order, and it's just a bit annoying. Keep the power on going up here. I don't know if my wench is downstairs, so let me just pause and go and answer that doorbell. I'll be right back, folks. Sorry about that. My apologies. It wasn't what I wanted, because I've ordered a new GoPro. Not quite making it yet. Uh-oh. Go on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Maybe you can't. Right. Can you do it? You can do it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. You wanted wheel slip wheels. I'm surprised she hasn't. Poor fireman. That'll do, I think. Yep. It's Pretty unusual to get 2 cars for here, so I'm not too fussed about taking it all the way to the end. Oops. Whee. Now that one, that last one, actually has to go in there, which means we need to run around it. So what? What I think I'll do is I'll bring them both down to the turntable. And then I'll dump the car there, and I'll use the turntable to run around the train. Psych Records says the money glitch would be nice. There actually is one. There is a money cheat for this game. I'll show you in a tick. Let me get the train down here without crashing it. And then once we're stopped, I'll show you. PSR 1 appears to have reached a waypoint. It must be at Ela. But if you go into the console mode and go mode sandbox, and then you go, I'm trying to remember the name of the thing. I think it's actually, is it? Hang on. Switch mode sandbox. There we go. And then you go, is it money 1? Maybe it's money cheap. There you go. Received a payment of $1. That's how it works. Mode company. So yes, there is a cheat. You just go into Sandbox and give yourself more money. Which is very much a cheating thing. Now, is that close enough to that switch? Can I change it? Yeah, it's fine. Good. Psych says you could have multiple GoPros and mix between them. That's the point. Yes. Because, you know, I have this one. But there's a lot of times when I'd like, because I'm on my own when I'm videoing most of the time, I don't have a crew. I'd love to have a crew, but I don't have a crew. So it would be really cool to have a crew, but no, I don't. I'll do this way around, actually, so I can tell when it's bloody lined up. I want to be able to put up 2 GoPros. So I might have one filming on an engine and one not on the engine, for example. Yeah, I fell off the switch. Never mind. I'm glad they're fixing this, because, you know, this is really, really annoying. Come on. Let me control the turntable. What they're doing in an update is did that make it? Yes, it did. They're changing the game so that you can just point the turntable at a spot and it goes there. Because their turntables are just stupid hard, which means people don't use them. Which means you have this lovely engine facility that you could have, so there's 2 in each road. 2 this size engine anyway. You could have 8 engines in there and no one uses the bloody engines yet. Here's our coal and water going. That's fine. I think we'll go back into automatic mode now and put him on there. Oh, there we go. Let's go and find out what our friend at Ela's doing while this guy's doing that. Because we have this one car that we need to deal with. That's the yellow one on the front, I'm pretty sure. And we are on a grade, so I'll put a handbrake on. Now, this one Ela car, we actually have to run around it. So we'll just bring it up to here. Because we have to be on the other end of it, which is a bit boring. But this is one of the ways where it got less grindy, because in the past, you would have actually had to do everything. Are any of these ready to come out yet? No. So you would have had to do everything yourself? Yeah, just stop in the middle of the crossing. I like that idea. Why are you continuing? You don't need to continue. You're done. And this is why it's not as grindy, because you can just do that. Whereas before you would have had to drive it all the way around. Alright, let's leave him there to do his thing. And this is the other reason it's not grindy, is because you get to do stuff like that. And you can just whip around. And we're going to put that one. This is number 2, isn't it? We're going to put that one there. Whoop. Blast Pop says, trying to make up the grades a bit like SnowRunner. Talk about grindy. Yeah, SnowRunner is a bit. I've never streamed it, but I do actually have it. And I have to say I struggle to enjoy it, and that's why I don't stream it. Because if I stream a game that I actually don't like playing, I think that comes across in the stream, and it makes the game look bad. And just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad game. Because thousands of people really love SnowRunner, so, you know, it just doesn't suit me. And I'm sure this game wouldn't suit a lot of people. That's just the way life works. Alrighty. Now we've got a bit more shunting to do, but since we're actually over here, let's use our new coal and water point. Why not? Because this will now work. Now that we've got coal there. I think it actually works before you've got coal there, because I think they generously give you a little bit. So we'll coal and water, and then we'll finish shunting. We've done most of the shunting here. We've just got to take some around the corner. And number 1's slowing down, so let's go and see what he's doing. Good, I did leave enough room. I'm slightly impressed with myself about that. Very happy, because there is the odd day that I don't leave enough room there and go, nope. Welcome along to the people who have joined the stream recently. You're absolutely welcome to chat if you would like to. Or you can just watch as we progress through day 10 on what is now the Very Small Railroad. At the start of the stream, it was called the Very Small Beginning Railroad. Actually, I don't need to put the air through on that. We're not going to. Just put it there. Honk. Now I could, how long? It's got 1 ton left. We probably should pull it out and put it back, because we're only going to have to do it later. So we may as well. It's got a handbrake on too. Ooh, I am being officious. Still just sit in there. Did I pick the wrong one? Yeah, I think I did. I think I just told the other one to come here. Pretty sure I just did. Pretty sure I'm an idiot. Yep, pretty sure I did. Oh, well. Let's go on to number 2. And how about we stop you? Because, yep, we did the done with you. Since you're over here, we may as well do this shunting. But you're going to have to go all the way around anyway. Unless I push all those things in. Oh, let's just do that. How unprototypical can you get? Let's use our passenger cars to push stuff into sidings. I love it. No one would ever do this at a real railway, so we're going to do it. Excellent. That's me bringing the stupid to railways. Woo-hoo. See, this one's only got 1 ton of stuff left, which means we're going to have to take it out of here pretty soon. In fact, we don't actually have any passengers anywhere, so why don't we just slip time? Gunk. Did that fill it? No, it slipped. Oh, hang on, what's it got left? 63 pounds. Let's slip another hour. There you go. Now it's empty and it wants to go out. Perfect. Bleed it. And we'll put it over here. We won't actually take it with us yet. VSR1. We'll just leave it there. We'll pick it up on the way home. Any of those want to come out now? No. Are they close? No. Alright, let's go and see. What are you doing? You're probably just at about the turnaround point, number 2. So go and see what he's doing. Yeah, he's at the turnaround point, heading back in. Nice. Good. You don't want to slip time too often because you'll lose your bonus points for early deliveries. Alright. Bonk that. Just let that roll for a bit and then put a handbrake on. Donk. And we might even kick that one as well. Nah, it's not bother. Get it wrong. We'll get it wrong. Let's put him in here where he belongs. The short run railway of Monopoly. You could do that. Probably get sued by Parker Brothers. Number 2's at his waypoint. This is about as unprototypical as Operation can get. Because you just would not do this. Oh, they're not coupled, are they? That's right. Let's go into VSR number 2 and let's go into manual mode and we'll just yank this backwards a bit. Oh, you've got a handbrake on still. And then we'll go forwards a bit. Right, now they're coupled. And the rest of it should be. Go back into a waypoint mode and we'll go flying around the corner. Actually, we've got oil, then we've got those guys. So we'll do the oil first. This will get totally out of control. First delivery to standard oil. Good to have some buildings down here, actually. This came in the last update to Railroad to have some buildings. And this is just too silly for words, really. But I'm just too lazy to pull this consist apart, so we're not. This is one of the ways where I say you can just do whatever you want. How's our friend going? He's done. Good. So let's get you unhooked. Handbrake. Handbrake. Gunk. Now we'll get that back onto the train over here and continue it on his way to Bryson, where we will compete with the other train for space, because guess what? We have to deliver pretty much into the same area the other one is. That's fine. So, Bryson Team Track, Appalachian Hardwoods, and the rest is all for the bridge site. Now, I'm pretty sure I left enough room to run around there, so that should be fine. With our little unit here. Syke says, is it prototypical to assign freight cars a priority, such as an express? How can rail freight reach its destination over long distances? It's changed a lot over the years, but even in this era, yes, there were express freight services. So things like perishables, like fruits or meats, and milks, things like that were usually done with an express. I think one of the most famous ones in the US was the Pacific Fruit Express, which was, it operated in both directions. It would take citrus fruit from Florida to other states, and it would take citrus fruit and other fruits from California into the other states. So that's probably the most famous one. But there are other kinds of things as well. And in more modern times, now that they have, in the US anyway, precision scheduled railroading, no one else does it. The idea of those is they'll run the train as fast as possible, and they will take trains whether they're full or not, but they prefer a full train. But they won't leave cars sitting around in a yard until they've got a full train, which is different to what they used to do, whereas they just leave it sitting around somewhere for days until they had enough cars to actually take somewhere. All right, we will take this up to Bryson, and we're going to have to be a bit creative up here, so I'm going to bring it into into the siding ladder over here. So, kabunk. Now let's go and see what our old mate's doing, because he's dropped his oil car. He's ready to drop his oil. So we'll do that. Andy, brake. And these ones all go... he goes in the back. That's a bit of a pain in the bum. Let's just bring the whole lot down to here. So we actually want number 2. We'll bring it to here and then figure out what we're going to do from there, because I think the third car actually has to go to the back of that thing. So but we'll figure that out when it gets here. It'll be fine. I wonder if this little locomotive can actually get up this hill. Looks like it. Violet, you're alive! I got a notification the other day that my membership had been killed for your channel by YouTube. Glad to see you're alive. Has been a little while. Lord Vectron does correctly say that US railways prioritise freight. Ooh, there's all this stuff up here. That has to come out too, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, that's something else for this loco to do when it's finished doing this. We've got everything coming down here, as you do. You lost your monetization. I didn't know that happened. That's interesting. Did it happen because you were inactive, or did it happen because you didn't sign up to the new contract? Because there was a new contract recently. You had to sign up for YouTube for Education. And they said it was optional, but you couldn't not sign it, because if you didn't sign it, you'd lose your monetization. So it's definitely optional. You can opt in or out, but you can't make any money out of YouTube if you don't sign it. All right. Now, what I reckon is going to happen here, and this is why I brought it down to these points, is I reckon from memory, this one has to go into the back, which is a bit of a pain. But one of those, I think that one goes into the front. It does. That one goes in there. So if we put... Yeah, because this has to go in the back and that one goes in front of it. So we can do this relatively simply. We can bring those... You should have just about stopped. Yep. Bring that to there. And then we'll... get it back to there. Let me open your channel in a new... No, I can't. Okay. I'll fix it after the stream. Because I think your channel went so inactive it unsubscribed me as well. So I'll... Sorry, it's been a hard year too. That's not good. All right. So we'll dump that one. And we'll actually dump this one here as well, even though it doesn't belong here. Because we have to put the coal up here at what will no doubt one day be a power station building. Now, other fella's still flying along somewhere. Let's go and have a look. Where are you? I think you are not very far off Governor's Island. It is well worth taking a break, though. So, some streamers and creators, if they're having a hard time, should create content because it takes their mind off whatever's going on in their life. But sometimes that's not the right thing to do. Sometimes you may need to walk away from everything for a while. Looks like old mate's almost there, so we'll go back to him in a moment. Otherwise, we're going to have too many trains at Bryson. We don't want that. Right, he's sorted. Put on a handy. Break that off. And then we'll go back and get that other car. Hey, what am I doing over here? We'll go back and get this car. And this is number 2. That's correct. Because that one has to go about where the passenger coaches are. Yes, your channel's mostly about portraying happiness and creativity and things, which is probably impossible if you're feeling sad, really. Although, some of the best music in the world has come from those moments of feeling horribly sad from people. Because it's something people relate to. Everybody has those moments. Violet's one of those rare people from a YouTube channel perspective that we've actually met. That probably recoupled it to that. Or I never uncoupled it, one or the other. But that one goes there at the end of that little platform. So we'll do that. Bonk. I think you've got a handbrake on, do you? You do. Release. Does that one got a handbrake on? It does. And then we'll go and get that bridge traffic and take it out. How's the other guy going? Oh, he's almost here. Now, we are going to have to do a touch of shunting with these guys as well, because that one goes over there in this siding. And Appalachian Hardwoods goes where the other train is right now. And then we've got all the stuff for the bridge site. So what we'll do is we'll chuck the lonely one. The team one, we'll just chuck it over here, which is why I come over here, just to leave it here. Because while we could deal with it now, we won't. Hey, get off there. Just chuck that one over here and make sure it's well clear. So VSR number 1. Just chuck it about there. Let's go and see what our friend's doing. That's lovely. And this is being timed remarkably well for a change. Alright, now let's use that to go and get the bridge cars from up here, wherever they are. There they are. Just want to get onto the end of that so I can set a waypoint. Sorry for the confused camera action there. We'll come and get that. Let's go and watch this one just while that's happening. How are you for water and coal? You're fine. And once we've dumped this one, the reason why I wanted it clear is we can go bonk, bonk. I know this is famous last words. I was about to say it's safe enough to leave a handbrake on here. Oh, look, that one was to come out too. We'll deal with that in a little while. I want VSR number 1 to go onto the back of this train, because we're going to push all that stuff in. Even though it's a pretty hefty train, and pulling that back out of the hardwood site will be a pain in the ass, but that's okay. In fact, if we set the points right, we could just let that carriage go and it'll just roll in there. It'll be fine. Might even do that. Because even if it doesn't make it, it won't matter, because we'll just go back in there and do it. Alright. So, he's going to have a bit of runaround action to do. He is currently getting ready for some runaround action. And this guy can get ready to be the mixed going back again. Because we're pretty close to being finished today. Probably got another 40 odd, 40, 45 minutes to do. But we're close to being done, and we're starting to be a really busy railway now. So just locations wise, bridge, Bryson Bridge site. That's the one. No, that's not the one we're at. We want. Is that the one we want? No. Oh, milestones. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So we want Bryson Bridge line to Fontana. So those cars are here. We can't actually order the next cars yet until we've delivered those, the ones that are sitting up at Bryson now. That will be very soon though. Is the bridge visibly there yet? No, hasn't changed at all. But I think maybe it's built beyond the bridge a little. We've got our road. The railway goes up this way, I think, from the bridge, from memory. Because we're just rebuilding everything now. Yeah, missed. Or does it go off to the left? Maybe it goes off to the left. There we go. That's what we want. Let's put the air through. Take off that handbrake. I can't remember how many handbrakes I put on here. That one's on. That one on? Yep. Surely that's it. Yeah, that's all of them. All right. And that looks like it didn't put the air through properly. Maybe I don't have the air through at all here. No, I do. Am I looking at the right train? No, because this is number 2. There's number 1. All right. So let's go flying back to Bryson. Just to get that one moving, let's give it a mid-range waypoint there. And we'll bring it back into the station. We'll stop it with the... I reckon we'll stop it about here. Right on the points. That might be a bit too short, actually. Let's stop it about there. Because the locomotive can then, while the passengers are loading, it can go and grab this one and shove it in here. So that'll be fine. And this one, which is now hooked up on the back, put our air through, and number 1, we can bring you out, but we can't take you all the way out, but we can bring you to here, for example. While we wait for this other one to clear, which it will very quickly anyway. This is what railways are about. There's a lot of just hurry up and wait. Oh, I just remembered something I wanted to try. But someone asked me a question and I wasn't actually sure if you could do this. No. Can you do seasons? Someone asked me about that because I know the engine supports it. Place consists recharter. No, it doesn't look like you can. Now that first carriage wants to go in there. But what I think I'll do is I'll bring it to the other side of the crossing just here. So VSR number 1, this is the correct one. We'll bring it to here. Oh, actually, VSR number 2, we're going to want to stop you right about there, in fact. Because we want to load you up with passengers. Inspect. Passengers. Whittier and Ela. Copy to the other car. And in the meantime, while that's happening, we can do 2 things, actually. We'll do 2 things. We'll go and get this car. This is number 2, correct? We'll get that car. Then we'll get that car. We'll put that car in there. We'll put the other one on the front of the passenger carriages, which is a bit silly, but that's all right. We'll make that happen. Meanwhile, we've got this one heading up here. And we're going to push him just over the hill because we're going to roll this one down the hill, believe it or not. We're going to hand shunt, as you do. So once it actually stops, which it should be, I can hear the brakes going on. Now I'm just going to put the handbrake on. Now let's send him up to the bridge site while we're here. So we'll just bring that one, which is VSR number 1. Boink. And then come back here. The camera is doing that weird thing that the camera does sometimes. You're going into R1, which I'm pretty sure is that first sighting. So let's just take your handbrake off and make sure you're going to start rolling, which I think you will. Because you're not on flat track, you should. Oh, maybe it needs to be bled. And brakes off. You going to roll? I don't know. We might leave you at the mercy of gravity for a little while. Because R1 is that one there. And I'm pretty sure it's downhill, so it should roll. Could be a little bit deceptive because it might actually be flat because that's uphill. That might be what makes me think this is downhill, but we'll see. Is it looking like it's moving at all? I did have its brakes off, didn't I? Yeah, apply, bleed. So the brakes are off, but it's not rolling. I kind of thought it would. Maybe it's just waiting for gravity to start sucking. Can you actually push them? So if I push on the car... I don't know, did that make it roll? Maybe not. Maybe Google that. Can you hand push a car in Railroader? You can manually push a car. Shift R. Oh, cool. Let's give it a try. Shift R, apparently. Shift R. Shift R. Oh, look at that. Good, oh. You going to keep rolling? Yeah. Now, how do I get up on there? I know there's a way to get onto the car. I might have to keep pushing it anyway. No, there's no way to get on there. Okay. Shift R, shift R, shift R. I am on the ground. Shift R. I am on the ground, you silly game. There you go, that made it faster. In the meantime, he's up here, so let's go back into flight. Whee! And let's put on some handbrakes. We'll need a few to hold this load. You don't really. You really only need one. But let's do it the way a real railway would. Should we? Yes. How's our rolling car going? Is it going to get there? Or should I just shunt it? Oh yeah, it's getting there. Alright, we can send old mate back to Bryson then. Because that car is going to get there. Send it there. Because we've got this one. Oh, I see. We've got that. Just got to remember not to leave that car for too long. I think we'll double head this train back. That's a good idea. This is number 2. And let's just go back to number 1 and go down here. He's still rolling away happily. It's going slow enough, so that's not an issue. I don't think that's even going so fast it'll hurt anything, to be honest. I think it's going quite slowly. So it'll just roll in a couple up, I suspect. Nice. Perfect. Okay. Didn't I uncouple this dude? Thought I did. Hey. Did uncouple it. Why is it still sitting there then? Never mind. Doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? Let's cancel that. No, we will do that. But let's bring our friend, number 1. Let's bring him to here. Right up to the siding, actually. Let's bring him here. So our railway here is all about the mixed. So we'll deliver that box car into the siding. And then we'll take out the mixed. Back with number 1. That should have loaded everybody up by now. Ooh, they're full. Which means... yeah, we're going to have to do a second passenger train, which is a bit boring. Mind you, it won't actually penalise you if you don't service the passengers as long as you're not running a timetable. If you're running a timetable, it will penalise you. Bad guy's back. Blast Pop says get out and push it by hand. That did actually work. I was kind of surprised that it worked, to be honest. Shift R if you need it. How was your coal and water, actually? Before we go rolling off with you into the distance, you're fine. We do have a little bit of shunting to do at Ela still as well, I think. I'm going to put that onto the train. That looks like it's going to get down there at a really good time. So we can continue number 1 onto here, just as long as it doesn't foul. All right, that one is now delivered. Yeah, through on that one, it is. Now we'll just wait for VS number 1 to come and stop. It should stop next to this pole. We'll take number 2. Just wait for that one to stop because we're going to couple them up. Because we get a double head back. I think I left enough room. Yeah, I think so. Looks good. Looks good. So we need to inspect number 2. Because once they couple, I need to do a couple of things to make this work. Now, before we do anything, we put it in manual mode, cut it out, multiple unit, and then put the air through. And then if we go back to number 1, who's now in charge, and say we want to get onto the train here, they will work in unison. And if you don't do it that way, they will actually fight each other. What did you have for dinner, bad guy? Or as Speakerbot calls you, Bad Gooey. Maybe I should have turned on Speakerbot today. All right, let's get the air through. And was it that one I put a handbrake on? No, that one maybe. That one. All right, they're loaded up, ready to go. So we can send that to Ela, where we've got 1 carriage to pick up. So we'll have to stop before we actually get into the station proper. So we need to bring them to here. We'll bring them to just after, actually. Got a bit of elephant action happening. Now we should be able to order the next cars, I think, Bryson Bridge site, because they have been delivered. It says it's still waiting for them to be delivered, but I don't think that's true anymore, because we've just delivered them to the bridge site. Unless they didn't all go in. Let's go and have a look. Let's make sure they're all actually in there. It might also be that you can't order the next ones until these ones are empty. No, so they've all gone transparent, so that's fine. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, maybe it's just a timing thing. Who knows? You know, I've never looked at. What's through here? Never been there. Don't know. Never followed this track. It goes up. Very steep. Very, very steep. Oh, nice trestle. There's a water tank. Oh, is this Walker? Is this the logging place? Yeah, this is Walker. Never been in here, never needed to. There's no industries here apart from the logging lines, and you don't need them. And it's at this point you have to start balancing the stuff that you need. So we've got $6,000. We are at the point that we need a locomotive. We're at the point that we need a passenger carriage. And we're at the point that we need to buy the next round of bridge materials, which will be about $3,000. I'm not a fan of finance, so I tend not to use it. I eventually got that right. We roll through on our way back to Ela. This is the Governor's Island passing point. I've used it occasionally. It's not been a common one, that's for sure. This would be a really good place for a modder to put a passenger station, actually. I wonder if there are any. Let's have a look. Railroader. Snowplows. Ooh. This is where I go to get most of my mods. And I could show you this. Have a look. Just while the train's doing its thing. I'll go to that and find that. It'll look a bit weird and stretched because it's not the right aspect ratio, but you get the idea. So this is Nexus Mods. You just tell it what game you want, and I've told it it's Railroader. And there's just tons of stuff. Southern box cabs. Ooh. There's a lot of English stuff turning up here now, which is kind of cool. Is there anything for Governor's Island? Doesn't look like it. Gov. Ashley's Governor's Island Industries. Governor's Island Bottling. More tracks for Governor's Island. Silver High Speed Line, don't need that. Governor's Island Storage Yard, don't need that. Latom's Industries for Farm and Oil. This one looks like it's got actual buildings, which is nice. I like having buildings. You got to be careful of all these stupid bloody download buttons, by the way. They're all bullshit. The only one that matters is that one. Oh, it looks kind of cool. 7 industries and a passenger station to Governor's Island. It's locked behind a progression. Also has an engine service and a roundhouse. Oh, I don't need a roundhouse or an engine service or anything like that. This mod is incompatible with most, if not all, other Governor's Islands mods. Oh, it's got CLB and Rex's stuff too. Yeah. I might have a bit more of a look at that one. That looks kind of interesting. I'll have a bit of a think about that one. I think I have everything at once. We have arrived. So I will grab that mod. I'll have a bit of a look at it, and I'll have a play off camera. Unless you want to see how to install mods, if you're that curious. I actually don't know if I can stream that. Alright, let's pull you two off there. And they won't have registered for their station stop yet because they're not there. So we'll go get this car. Just have a quick check and make sure nothing else wants to go out. Doesn't. Lovely. So we'll just sit up here somewhere and watch the fun. Yeah, I judged that well, didn't I? They're just clear. Lord Vectron says the Dave Ramsey Railroad. Cash only, no finance. Beans and rice. Absolutely. Lord Vectron says, Nexus, my beloved. Bad Guy says you should build your own Australian railway. I did build Puff in Rail Route, but I lost it during an upgrade, sadly. Would help if I actually hooked them up. Right, now back here. Yeah, we can get the passenger carriages in the right order too while we're here. So that they're back on the front. That'd be handy. Might just do that actually. Because that'll make it easier when we're down at the other end, and I can do it quite easily here. So we will indeed do that. In preparation, let's get up here and put a handy on. Unclip those. There's no point uncoupling it yet, because it'll just couple when the other one comes in. Lord Vectron tried making his local line back in TSC, but abandoned it. It actually is very hard. And I think a lot of people, and you see them a lot. They go, oh, yeah, why can't you just do this? It's not hard. And then they try. And they go, well, that's balls. Because it is. It's balls. It's difficult. Just put the passenger cars over here briefly. Put the freight cars back where they belong, and then put the passenger cars back on the top. Why are we just sitting here? You uncoupled? You are uncoupled. Do I have a handbrake on still somewhere? No? Did the air not go through when we hooked these up? No? How about this one? There it is. The air didn't go through. Right. Lord Vectron says, got the Google Maps starter in and the lines down, but hard time using the game assets for stations and building the yard. Yeah, it is difficult. I've built some simple stuff in TSC and it's a pain in the ass. It really is. The editor's terrible. And I've had to play with Transcend Worlds editor. Worse. I've got to say worse. There's not an iota of usability has gone into the design behind that. Now, granted, it's not really their fault because it's using Unreal's editor, but man, that thing's terrible. It's a classic example of why software developers shouldn't be allowed to build software for humans. Because you need some UX, you really do. It's kind of important. Alright, that'll be clear. Roll back in here and pull that off. I'm pretty sure Ela's flat, so probably don't need handbrakes. I think I've even got a handbrake on that. Take that off. Just keep an eye on it. If anything starts rolling. Are they rolling? They are rolling. Yeah, maybe I do need a handbrake. You haven't gone anywhere. Or haven't you gone anywhere and they were? Now, just in case I put that back on. No, I think I just released it, didn't I? Let's apply it. Lord Vectron says, I don't like saying things are hard, they're tedious. Tedious bugs. Actually, all the developer documentation for TSC all disappeared recently too, which is, I find sad. No? Boop. Let's get back on here now. Clunker. Clunker, clunker. Oh, I'm covering up part of the UI, aren't I? No, don't move the game. Move me. Right, there we go. I'm not covering up the UI anymore. I could be completely silly with this thing too. I could transform, rotate. There we go. Right, let's chuck that back on there. And after all this, they have to do their station stop because they haven't quite got there yet. They may even do it when they pull ahead, actually. That'd be interesting. Because when they try and reverse direction, it might just stop. Let's wait for old mate to turn up. Ark. All right, now we just tell it to go to Whittier. I know it hasn't done its station stop yet. Do we have to do anything at Whittier? I can't remember. Let's just take it here. it will do its station stop all by itself for the other one. So let's bring it to here. Doesn't look like there's anything to do it with here, so that's fine. Station stop time here at Ela. Now the question is how many people are going to get off and how many people are going to get on. So there's 34 passengers waiting, 13 for Bryson, 21 for Whittier. Are any of these people going to get off? Or are we just going to sit here? There is definitely some supposed to be getting off here. They're not yet, though. There they go. Just taking their time. Must be a trainload of Karens. Just taking their own sweet time. They're probably looking for the manager. The good thing about the very small railroad is the manager's probably driving the train. So they can come up and they can go, I need to talk to the manager, and the bloke can just lean out of the cab and go, get fucked. That's exactly the way they should be dealt with. No Karens and Kens. Oh, they've all gotten on. Very good. And away she goes. It's a good thing she's double header because this is just a touch heavy now. Inspect, follow, done. You'd almost think I'd organised this, you know. So what do you think? Do we run another passenger train today or not? It won't penalise me if we don't. And we are getting up to the usual stream ending time, which is in 2 minutes, but we'll be running just slightly longer. I'm kind of inclined to not run an extra one today. Hello, James Shea. How are you? You have a very famous surname in the railroading world. The Shea locomotive. It's an absolute game changer for the logging industry. Gabe Ward, hello. Welcome. I do like a peaceful stream. Like button smash, thank you. I appreciate that. So we're just about finished this day on the Very Small Railroad, which I've changed its name now from the Very Small Beginning Railroad to the Very Small Railroad because, you know, we are a very small railroad now. We're not just beginning anymore. This is day 10. We are financially fiscal. And we have the option of running another passenger train, so we could start that off with one of the locomotives while the other one takes all of this freight stock and pushes it down to East Whittier. I say pushes it because it'll be on the other end of it. Actually, you know, thinking about it, if we're going to run another one, I should actually bring it into the other track. Because that way, we don't have such a horrible long wait time for shunting. Because we can use the loop. I think that's an important thing to do. Let's bring it into about here. It's the Shay locomotive. There we go. These beasties. That one's at Cass. That one's at Cass. That one's at Cass. Not sure where that one is. Oh, actually, no, that's at Midwest Threshers, that one, Dixiana. Isn't it sad that I know where they are? But yeah, they're quite a different locomotive. Yeah, there were basically, I mean, there were three major manufacturers of geared locomotives. Shay was probably the biggest. Climax was probably the next biggest, and Heisler was the biggest after that. So we'll wait for these to finish their station stop. Well, Ephraim Shay did actually have a railway. He had a railway at his house. And all I can say about that is it'd be cool to be that rich. Alright, so once these guys stop, we will put that handbrake on, get in closer so that works, break them off. And we want to unhook those as well. And we'll just put our VSR number 1, we'll just chuck him over here. We'll block the road, of course. And VSR number 2, we will cut in. Break that off. Because once the station stop's complete, which I'm pretty sure it is, we'll put VSR number 2, put the passenger cars over here, which they'll stay there for the night. Or we'll run another one, we'll see. I'm not too sure which. They won't go anywhere till the station stop finishes. Are there more to go back? Yeah, there's quite a few, so we'll run another passenger train. Yeah, Ephraim Shay was quite a fascinating person. You can probably hear my other half in discussions with the adult munchkins upstairs. How are you going for your station stop? You're still on the station stop. Not being very efficient. Amy, hello. We're going to run another passenger train, so you know. So we will keep going for a little longer. Actually, you know what? If I was smart, what I'd do is I'd actually tell him to stop, and I would tell this one, tell that locomotive to go there, because that would be smart. Oh, and VSR number 2, I told you to stop. Put you over there. Have you got lots of coal and water? Because you're going to make another trip. Hey, you're fine. You're fine. You can coal up at Bryson anyway. I should have put him over there in the first place. Instead of just sitting here on my hands. Well, that's all right. Now, we did break those off, didn't we? Yes, we did. Good. Because I was going to put the first loco back on this train and pull it down to Whittier, but then we'd have the passenger train on the wrong end. This is Whittier Station. This railway I don't think exists anymore, but it was based on a real one, and it's in the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia. Just so we're not waiting forever, let's get number 2 at least moving. And we can start setting these up for their passenger ops as well. So we'll go to Ela and Bryson, stop at Whittier as well. And we are going to... We'll just let it pull up and stop by itself, because it will. Once it gets to here. I should chuck my UK dates back in the chat, shouldn't I? Let me go and get them. Because I am going on the UK Grand Tour. I have arranged to meet up with a few people. I'll be meeting some someone I know through Dovetail, Daisy, who's a guard on, actually I won't say which railway because I don't know that she's ever said which railway, but I know which one it is. Also meeting Dave Randall and Richie Rail and Casual Rail. Richie and Casual are fellow ambassadors for the other games company that doesn't make this game. So I'm meeting them. And Dave's just a guy that follows the channel. I met him last time I was there as well. There's possibly York's Andy is interested in meeting up as well, so we'll see how that works out. I'm using the AI waypoints, which is kind of cheating. Right, let's grab number 1. We are still little. We only have 2 still. And they should be loading up their passengers. So let's just put a brake on so they don't roll away between locomotives. And we'll get number 2 back on the freight train where we need it to be. And we can get that on its way as well and get it down to the interchange. The air's cut off on the other one, so that's fine. We can take that brake off now. No, you're fine. It is exactly the game as you can play it however you like. Looks like we've got everybody, actually. Can probably tell that to go to Bryson. Oh, no, not quite. There we go. Now we can. So, that's, what did we put on there? Number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Let's just get the map up. And we're going to tell that to scoof off to Bryson. We may even leave the passenger train at Bryson today. I used to do that in the beginnings of the little railway before it got too big. There you go. Scoff you off that way. So maybe number one will live at Bryson tonight. And that way the first thing number one does is the first passenger run. That would work. It's actually interesting. I mean, you've got the capability of running the locos manually on this, and I often don't. And I think that's because I do actually operate steam locos in real life, both firing and occasionally driving. And I think that's exactly why I actually don't use them the way you're supposed to use them. It's just kind of funny. But speaking of that, let's go manual for this one. The switches look like they're set, so that's fine. So let's go on to number 2, and we will drive you backwards. Bit of stick. And we don't want to go in that much reverse. We don't need to. Away we go. You sound like me, James. I challenged myself on Friday when I went for my fireman's reassessment. I talked about it at the start of the stream. Because every 2 years we have to be reassessed for competency. And I took the hardest run you can do on our railway. Let's not go down that way. Keep going straight. What are you for? Oh, you need to be delivered. Oh, well, we can do that too. And let's bring you down here. And we'll bring it down to this point down here, so that will be fine. You gradually bring your cutoff closer to mid-gear to improve your use of steam, make you more efficient. You lose power the closer you get to mid-gear, the less power you've got, but you're using a lot less steam. In this game it doesn't matter because steam's magic, but you know. Try and teach people the right way to do stuff. So if they ever do get the opportunity to work on a steam railway like I do, then they'll know what's going on. Select and inspect, follow. What is that cat doing? Amy says, I find driving steam to be quite boring. I much prefer a hydraulic transmission. Ah, steam's awesome. A real steam engine, there's nothing quite like it. Because you're not really driving the locomotive, you're riding a dragon, basically. And it might do what you tell it to, and it might not. Ah, different kind of fireman, James. So you're a fireman in EMT. I'm a fireman of a steam locomotive. So I actually do this stuff in real life. In fact, if I find it for you, if I go to my channel, me, and I'll find the video. There we go. Copy. that video is you'll see me firing the locomotive in that one. Here's R2. Make sure the back of that's in. It is. Oh, we could probably stop there. That'll do fine. So I think the stage goes down that far. It does. Oh, we made some money. Whopping $132. And let's get back onto this little fella. Go into a waypoint. Oops, missed. How's the other one going? No, it's just leaving Ela by the looks of it. There's your coal and water. Lovely. So all of that stuff there will disappear soon. I don't think there's anything else we can do today, milestones-wise. I don't care about diesel fueling stands. I don't care about silver. I do want signals eventually, because I kind of like them, but I can't afford them yet. Don't need that. Don't need that. And that's it. We cannot buy the next bit. So we're still working on the Bryson Bridge. It's weird that it doesn't recognise they've been delivered, but they are. I think the first time I did it, this happened too. There's a bit of a bug with it. Finance-wise, we have gained some cash. We've been steadily gaining cash today. We have spent a little bit at the start. Well, actually, it was the end of the stream last time. I bought that bridge. Oh, that's really cool, actually. We got $1,900 for delivering the freight. That's not bad. We only paid $3 for the guy looking after the engines. Wow. Impressive. There's the $1 cheat that I did to show people how to do it. All right, let's get the brakes off on this one. We won't bother putting the air through because there's only one of him. And I have a faint suspicion that it wouldn't actually fit there. No, so it's going to have to go over here. And some of these ones want to come out already, so, you know, we might as well do that too. Since we're running a passenger train anyway, we could start sorting this stuff and pulling things out, or we could just leave them till tomorrow when they will all be full, instead of now when that one's full and that one's full. But we could make some more cash. That one's ready to go as well, so we could, that's the one that we shunted around with earlier, so we could do that too, I suppose, if we wanted to. Do I care enough to move those around? Yeah, I guess so, because all I've got to do is pull those out, jam them on top of the one I'm just putting in there now, and then put those two together and pull them out. That would work. By those two, I mean the ones on the ends. That'll give us something to do while we're waiting for the passenger train that's boring its way along. It's, where are you? Looks like Governor's Island to me. And indeed, Governor's Island. So that's almost finished its job anyway. And then we'll coal and water the locos and call it quits. Because we've delivered all that stuff. We've delivered 2 trains to the interchange today, so we've been doing quite well. My aim is for this railway to stay permanently around the 3.5 to 4 hour mark for a day, and that's where we are on at the mark at the moment, which would be pretty cool. James says I'd say that test isn't any easier. No, it is quite a difficult test, actually. And you have the Cumbrae and Toltec, which is a magnificent railroad. I have visited that one. I think my favourite American one is still the Durango and Silverton. I haven't been there since about 2001. Do you know, if I was smart, I would have put it on that carriage, because that would have been one less move, but whatever. That's fine. In fact, we can probably just stop this and cut it off and let it roll by itself, but whatever. We won't. While we're preparing, come over here and break these. And we'll do the handbrake on that one. Right. Handbrake, that. And we may as well grab this one first. Since we're going to have to anyway. How's the other one going? Very close to Bryson now. Not quite there yet, but very close. Couple more corners. We'll coal and water this one at Bryson regardless of what we do, because it'd be a bit of a risk bringing the train back again. And how do I think, even though I'm expanding to Alarka, it'll stay in the 3.5 to 4 hour mark for a day's running, which is what I'm aiming for. I'll have more locomotives. I'm planning eventually on 4. I've almost got enough to buy another one, but I don't want to buy one just yet. And I'm probably going to... I don't actually know if I'm going to stick with 10 locomotives or if I'll change to... Was it them? No. Which one was it? Could go with the Mastodon. The Pacific. Pacific's probably too big, I think. The decapods are pretty cool. I like the decapod. We might do decapods eventually. I quite like the way they look. But that might be where we head eventually. Got a little while to get to that point, though. That handbrake's on, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Alright, so I haven't bothered putting the air through, but I will. Let's bring this over here and grab this lot. So I'm starting to take away some of the work that we're doing tomorrow, and it's only because I've got that other train running. I wouldn't normally do this. I'd normally leave these sit till tomorrow. But because we're here, and we've got the other train going anyway... James says, I missed what you're saying. Clicked off, exited onto the link. You say you've seen the Cumbrae. I have. I have indeed. Because I did used to live in the US for quite a long time. 4 years, nearly 5. All these years, still the wheels don't go round sometimes. They go if you go close enough. There you go. I guess they're just saving on CPU. Now, that probably coupled up again down the back. Probably. No, it didn't. Good. Alright, so we're going to put all of that lot on top of this one because it's staying and they're all staying. And then we'll take our 2 that are going to the interchange, which is those 2. Race back down here and grab that one. Take them out. Ah, he's got to Bryson. Is there enough coal and water to get home? Yeah, there is. I was thinking I'd leave it here, but I need it to do the logs in the morning, so I won't. Because I really do need to have 2 locomotives at the other end. So let's bring these back. Whittier and Ela, copy. I don't know, there'll be many people waiting now anyway. Oh no, 60 people. That'll make us another $100 or so. And she's got enough coal and water to get her back there, so why not? While we're mucking around with this other one. Because by the time we finish this shunting and finish the coaling and the watering of this one, the other one will be arriving, and then we can coal and water that and call it quits for the day. James says it's absolutely beautiful there, the Chama area on the Colorado-New Mexico border. A little place called Ojo Caliente. Probably dodged a bullet by not signing up, Bob. It's an interesting world, the way things are currently. Right, as soon as that stops, right about there, unclip that, pop that handbrake on, and come and get this car here. We want number 2 for this. The other one's reached the turnaround point at Bryson and is going to head back now. Bryson really needs a crossover up there somewhere. It desperately does. Mod makers, go for it. I was actually looking at how the track works in this game, and I think it's probably not that hard to actually do it. See you later, Lord Vectron. Have fun. I should be streaming your 86. Probably... What time is it now? No, it'll be in a little while. But I don't actually have it yet. At least I don't think I do. Let me check my email. I don't think I've seen anything come in from them. No, have not. And they should be ready to go now, so I'll just send that back to Whittier straight away and hope she doesn't run out of water. Because, you know, that's always embarrassing for a steam person. Plenty of water at Whittier, of course. Let's bring her here. And number 1, that is the correct one, does not have the air through yet, so we'll go and fix that before it moves. If I can get in quickly enough. No, maybe I can't. No, oh well. It'll go without air brakes. It'll be fine. What could go wrong? Nothing. Everything. Alright, we've got that car. We can hook that up. Lace it. I'm only bothering with these because they're heavy. And then we'll go and take these and put them in the other part of the siding. Should we run around them? Sure, why not? Where can we run around that's easy? I reckon. Bring it to here. So we've got to spin this out now because we've got the other one going. So if we bring them down to... Yeah, bring them down to here. That'll be fine. Only got 3 cars. They should fit on the back of that one, surely. Yeah. Put them all in one train because we're nice. Adam the Gamer, you pressed the emergency brake on your train and now it's not working. Well, what is the train, for a start, and what game are you playing? James Shea says, years ago a man on a motorcycle camped out in our property. He was from somewhere in Europe or perhaps Australia. No, it wasn't me. No, that wasn't me. I have to say all my camping in America was done American style in an RV. So we'll just run around this and put it on the back of that consist so it's all in one set for the train that'll come and pick it up from the interchange for their convenience. Okay, you're playing Train Sim World 5. I will need to know what locomotive it actually is or what train it is, because there's different procedures for all the different ones. I've done my share of tent camping. I was a scout leader for 15 years, so plenty of tent camping involved in that. More than enough, you might say. If you go to the pause screen, Adam the Gamer, it'll tell you what train you're driving in the details. It's the progression each year, James. They release a pack each year. And at some point they started increasing the number each year as well. I don't know if they'll keep doing that, but they certainly have been. Just while we're waiting, since we're doing the last moves, we can set the repair to East Whittier. And that's only done the tender, of course. So we want to do the locomotive as well. Set that to East Whittier. Amy says, before their disability made things hard, was a Cub Scout leader for a year in 2020. It was a lot of fun, but I don't think I could do much now. Oh, you never know. Yeah, I started out in a troop in the town I lived in. That town eventually became a suburb. It was kind of sad when it became a suburb and we buggered off. But I was a troop leader there for 10 years, and I started working on state events and just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually I was leading state events. So, and then eventually what I discovered is once you actually get to the state level and right through all the training, they go, it's all about the kids. And then you get to the state level and you discover it's all about the adults. And I started making changes to make sure everything I did was about the kids. So I had kids running my big camps. You know, camps with 300 kids, camps with 1,500 kids. The kids were running them. And they were doing awesomely well. And that caused some dramas with head office, shall we say. James, all of your content will transfer, including your progress, to 5. So yeah, if you got 5, in fact, you really should have got 5 when it was free, when it first turned up. So everything from Train Sim World 2, 3, and 4 would transfer over. Just in case they follow last year's pattern, if you were thinking of upgrading, I would wait, because if another one does come out this year, last year when it went up to Train Sim World 5, it was free for about 5 months after the upgrade. You could upgrade for nothing. So sit on your hands if you're thinking about it, because I'm not telling you there's a new version coming out, because I don't know there's a new version coming out, but I'm just thinking about what they've done for the last few years and going, yeah, I guess it's likely. Now, if you're on a Gen 8 console, I would not upgrade. Stick with 4. Because if you're on a Gen 8 console, your world would start to suck, unfortunately. So I would only go to 5 if you can afford to move to Gen 9. All right, let's get this beast up here and watered and so forth. Looks like there's still plenty of coal in there, so there's no need to order any just yet. Amy says, I wasn't the troop leader, didn't have to deal with paperwork, just make sure everyone had fun. Ah, paperwork. Wasn't, actually, it's not that much. Scouting, the big events there's a lot to do. But in the big events, I had a absolutely magnificent assistant named Sam, and she was just amazing at paperwork and administrivia and making sure I was doing the things that I needed to do at the times that I needed to do them. Let's fill this one up. Oh, I missed again. Oh well. James says, I lived it. Camping, that is, homestead style. The concept of camping is to teach the kids, and the best way to learn is to do. Absolutely. Yeah, the only DLC that don't transfer between versions are the ones that have been lost or abandoned. So from the old Train Sim World 2020 days, the NEC did not come over. And in Train Sim World 5, when it goes to another version, the Caltrain stuff won't go over. Peninsula Corridor, that's the one. That looks good. We'll put it in front of the boxcar. Still got to coal it up. The other one's moving quite happily. I think it's already been through Ela. Close our lid. Give this one a bit of coal. Feed its hungry little belly. Something else I'll have to buy is a second coal car for here, because even after Bryson's the middle thing, this is still going to be probably one of the active engine facilities. Unless I do start running out of the middle, I suppose I could, but they're all going to, they'd have to come down here, light engine every morning to pick up everything. It's kind of boring. So what's quite likely is there'll be a loco that lives at Bryson at night. There'll be 2 locos that live here at night, because I'm always going to need 2 here for the morning jobs. And there'll be a loco that lives at Alarka at night. and may eventually progress to the point where we've got a spare one. "100% throttle, going to the shed with style." That's called cleaning out your fire. Because if you blow it all out of the stack, you don't need to get it out of the smoke box. That'll do. That's how that one will sit for the night. And now we've got the other one to deal with, which looks like it's almost back at Whittier. James says I have the Xbox S, and even 4 can be a bit glitchy. 5's okay on the S. Amy said they didn't have that much in terms of events. We did have a couple of trips, though. Yeah, that happens. Cub Scout level, they don't go outside that often. Scout levels when they really start doing that. The DB, so it's a cab car, is what you're driving. You're driving the Dosto, aren't you? I think. And Amy's just backed up, in fact, that it is the Dosto. So in that one with the emergency brake, I think it depends on the loco on the back actually, but you probably all you have to do is release the emergency brake button and put your throttle to 0, put your reverser to neutral, and your brakes should release themselves at that point, and then you can put your reverser back into whatever direction you need and put your use your throttle again. Unless you're using some of the safety systems. So if you've got AFB or anything like that turned on, you'll have to reset that as well. In fact, let me find you the tutorial for the cab car. Let me just find it for you, because I've actually got a tutorial for that one. In fact, look at that. Here is your tutorial for releasing the emergency brake in the 766.2. How about that? That was unusually specific of me, that one. Right, that's the passenger running for the day. Let's get this loco down and service it, put it to bed. And that'll be it for today's stream. Just get this last loco sorted. And we want to switch to number 1. Bring you down here in a waypoint, and then we'll do the things. And we just leave the passenger cars there on the main. Because, you know, we've only got 2 locos in the railway. There's no other trains coming. So this is quite safe. James said, started on TSW3, fell in love when I was young and in the army. I was in transportation, so I got to work a lot with the moment of freight. Almost left the military to work with UP. Oh. That's actually quite common that people leave military careers and go into railway careers. It happens quite a lot. James says, you're quick and extremely helpful. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. I do try to be helpful. I mean, you can be the kind of excitable streamer that complains about everything, or you can be a human. Enough said. Can you close that? Doesn't look like it. Last little movement of the day. Not a lot of coal left in there. 1 ton left. I think you could actually build in Railroader a railway that only runs Whittier Bryson and actually have quite a successful and entertaining day. But I really like the mines around Alarka, particularly the mods. I've got a lot of mods from Elena. And I want the copper mines back. I like them. I like the way they work. I like the weird shunting you have to do with them. It's just fun. And that's where one of these little locomotives will end up, is at Alarka. Because you can only run little locomotives up there. The big ones just don't fit. Are you going to go far enough forwards for me to actually coal you? Probably not. That's okay. Coal it up and then water it. Ah, thank you very much, James. Highly appreciated. All right, just about done for the day now. Let's get our water on board. Enjoy yourself, James. Have a good one. Let's get the hatch open in prep. Oops. No, I just wasn't in the right place. I'm trying to put them down, but I haven't gone far enough ahead. That'd be me. Look at that. We're going to actually put it in the tank this time. Nice. That's the way it should be done. Oops, better set my repair locations on these so that they get repaired. It's kind of sad that they're separate, and I wonder if that catches people out sometimes as well. Let's get in close and oil the all the bearings up. Should go and do this one while we're waiting as well, before there's another one in there and I can't see it. No, you're oiled up. You're oiled up. We actually own that one, so we keep that one oiled as well. We done? Looks like we're done. Very good. Let's blow everything out of the stack in this one too. And that brings us to the end of day 10. So naturally enough, I'll just capture this bit of the screen because that will be the thumbnail for the start of day 11, naturally. And let's go to sleep and see what rocks up tomorrow. Ooh, we've got quite a bit of stuff to deliver for tomorrow. A bit of a sneak peek at the next one. Bryson Freight House, Team Track. Lots and lots of stuff for Bryson. And we've got plenty of stuff here as well. And one for Ela down the back. There's been a little sneaky one down here. And if we have a quick look at our locations here, we have a lot to go to the interchange here. I've got a few more here. All the logs have been taken, of course. And if we have a quick sneaky out at Ela, so we get a bit of a preview of what's going to happen on the next one. We've got one to go to the interchange at Ela. And at Bryson, we probably... these ones haven't been here very long. I'd be a little bit surprised if any of these wanted to move. So in the team track, that one does. It's already been unloaded. That's quite amazing. None of those do. That one does because it's empty. So we'll it'll all be in here now. So it's 87 tons in there. And if we do a quick flip around the corner, we should see, yep, that one doesn't want to go out. What about round here? What are we going to have here? Yeah, there's a couple to go. So it's been making a bit of furniture up there. And we've got all the bridge cars want to go. So we can probably go into locations, or milestones rather, and we should be able to start the final phase. There we go. So we'll get those, which means we have to go into locations and set up a second run for East Whittier interchange. We'll schedule one for 8:30, so that'll bring in the bridge traffic, and we'll be ready to handle it by then. So thank you very much for watching, folks. On the next one, whenever the next one will be, we will open up the bridge. So we'll open up the track to Alarka finally, which will be really cool. All right, have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves. For those who have been stuck right throughout the whole stream and stuck with it, thank you very much. Thanks to James for the $10 US. I appreciate that. It's about $22 here. It's pretty cool. All right, enjoy, and we shall see you on the next one. I will be back on my usual stream for Wednesday night. There is some stuff releasing relatively soon. Let me just have a look. I just want to get the dates right for the 86, so let me just go and find it. Because the 86 is coming out in Train Sim World, I think, 15th? I think? Something like that. Where is it? That's Manchester Airport's update. Where's the 86 announcement? I've lost it. 86 release date. There it is. And it is July 15th. So I won't be streaming it this week, but I'll probably be streaming it early next week. So next weekend, we'll see what it is, and we will go from there. I'm not quite sure what it'll be. It'll be something. Definitely something. All right. Have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and see you later. Bye.